You mean it was a siren, but how were you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Mimidoa was involved in the first purge, but I never actually... Well, having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted, safely sealed within this pot, just as you requested. Please, take it with my compliments. This is level 42. See, I just feel like, you'll see when I do the dungeon, there's no way this dude David could have gone all the way to the top of that dungeon and gotten a corrupted crystal for me. There's just no way. It is not a satisfactory end, you know what I mean? Like, you don't really fight the siren. We're headed back to Elport. Alright, Theros Ceros. So, this is actually a level 50 dungeon, and I did have to finish the storyline in order to do it. That's fine. We're doing it in this order because I think this is how the story goes. Basically, the unlock for it, you find out that the siren that you fought earlier has taken residence inside the tower, and you are tasked with going in to defeat her. In my mind, you would defeat her and also grab yourself a nice, delicious corrupted crystal. So that's what we're gonna do. And so they send you in through the through the sewers instead of through the front door. You have to sneak in. So that's what we're doing. And also the music is amazing in here, isn't it? Like, I kind of want to just keep playing because the music is so good. I do want you to see this part though. This is a regular occurrence here, is that you have these thralls show up. And they're kind of cool because they're like zombies with corrupted crystals on them. Well, they are zombies, but they're her thralls. She turned them into that, right? So that's the thing. Alright. And here we are. Welcome to the final boss. Alright. So the main thing with this one is that she's going to summon zombie thralls that crawl towards the center, and we're going to have to kill them. That's the main That's the main part of this fight. And in case you're wondering, FFXIV is beautiful and the music is great, but man, some of the fights are obnoxious. Okay, this is where you gotta kill the thralls. These guys just crawling on the floor particularly have to die. Okay, I can't do anything until the thralls are dead. So the ones that crawl will grab me, and then I can't do anything until somebody kills them. There we go. Yay! And so then we get our corrupted crystal, or I think we should get our corrupted crystal. I mean, look, they're all over the place. Yeah, they're like all over the place here. So you could just grab a corrupted crystal. It totally makes sense, right? I remember all the way back when I first played this, you know, at launch. I remember thinking it didn't feel right. And then when I realized later that there were like no more dungeons after Stone Vigil that were in the story, it didn't feel right. And then when they released FFXIV at level 50 later before the expansion, I remember thinking when I did that dungeon, I was like, this should have been in the story. Like, this should have been a part of the story. Before you turn this crystal into Sienna, they should have been like, you gotta climb up there and get that crystal. You'll see. Oh, it's you. Welcome back, Sophie. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say, and more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? Aha! The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive. Very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Sophie. Seldom, if ever, have I encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such a volatile overabundance of fire-aspected ether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-aspected ether to counter the effects of raging wind? How does ice counter wind? Ah ha ha ha. Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. Yeah, see, 43. I feel like this should have been like a 43 should have been where you go to Pharos. We'll see. Don't fret now. I know exactly where to find the corrupted crystal comprised of ice aspected ether. An associate of mine in Gridania has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. Eh? What's with that expression? I thought you would be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild dodo chase, I assure you. And what's even better is that this time you needn't use the warded pot of yours to protect yourself from the crystal's energies. Hedden's findings suggest that it's quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, let's just say that it's undergone a unique process that has rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It's been a pleasure, Sophie. Come back and see me anytime, alright? Greetings and salutations. Miss Hiscaris, I presume? Sienna informed me of your adventures in Elport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Though, as Professor Lambertine is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasted. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing courses following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case, and while there is at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the 12's Wood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones? Well, one such creature with an infamously insatiable appetite has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in the 12's Wood. Fortunately for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they can even be digested. And I am reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that this Giggity just first consumes a corrupted crystal, then... you couldn't care less about this, could you? To the point then, Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there is a particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart, I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion, outside of the Spriggan's lair and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. Okay, so Spriggans are super cute, and I'm sad that I have to hurt one in order to get my crystal. This is bad writing. So this is another interesting quest where I think there used to be an extra step where you actually had to go get the true heart yourself, because there's a monument over here. Actually, we could just, no, I'm not going. The Ambercell Rock, though, is a monument you could go over, and I think you had to to interact with that rock to get this rock, and then you take this rock over to where we're going now. And I think you had to go back to the scientist dude in between too. It was stupid. Oh wow, something's actually gonna aggro me? Holy cow. No, Spriggan, don't make me hurt you, you're so cute. I don't want to hurt the Spriggans. So they did like take a step out of this, but not that big. What's really funny is that this particular spot in Final Fantasy makes me appreciate how much of the world they made of the world, if that makes sense. Like there's just so much going on here. No one ever comes, like look, there's nobody here. No one ever comes to this area except to do this one quest. This one single quest is the only reason. But they built this whole thing, and there's like whole caves underground. There's no reason for any of it. Like, there's no point at all. It's just as part of the zone that really has no... you do one quest. Like, they could have made that just like a small little rock anywhere and you interact with it, but like, nope, they made a whole little cave with like all those little complexities and stuff. It's so intricate for no reason at all, but I appreciate it. I'm happy that it exists. Ah, pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in... Wait, is that... What is that god's awful smell? My word, that is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. Ugh, and I also see you weren't averse to digging through a Spriggan entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude, you know. This thick coating of digestive juices is protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot you once used did. You know what? Let's just put it in the pot. I didn't realize that was what was protecting it. Let's just put it back into the... We'll just put it in the pot like everything else. Why so glum, friend? Because you made me kill and dismember a Spriggan, and I don't want to do it. Why so glum, friend? You finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought, one overflowing with earth-aspected ether. Calm down. I jest. It is compromised of ice-aspected ether. Worry not. See, but I would think earth would counter wind, wouldn't you? Like, why does ice... Wouldn't ice counter fire and earth counter wind? That's what I would think. I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering your previous two attempts were for naught. Beg your pardon, Sophie. I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message from your professor, or from Professor Lambertine. Something about a man named Marquis. Apparently the professor misses the intellectual stimulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I have yet to ask you why you need that crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? 'Twould reflect poorly on me and my research if it was used for evil ends. Well, perhaps it's best I remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil, just like the other two, by filling my head with unnecessary information. Ah, now see, this is interesting. I know this part. They used to send you back to Marquis first. Not to Marquis 2, the professor, all the way back in Camp Drybone. Even though you're right here in Gridania right now, they used to send you back to the professor to show him the crystal and tell him the story of how you got it, and then he's like, wow, that's amazing. Well, you're all ready to go. And then you would come right back to Gridania. So I'm glad they took that part out. Or at least that's how I remember it. I could, again, this game's, you know, years old now. I could be misremembering some things here and there, but I'm pretty sure that's correct, I think. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Right now, the only thing that matters is that we can go down to the airship again, and we can go face off against Garuta. It made me kill a Spriggan, though. It's almost enough that I want to go buy a Spriggan Pet just to show you the minion, because it's so freaking cute. Greetings, madam. Do you wish to proceed to your vessel? Yes, I do. Alright, so I decided to go ahead and buy the Spriggan really quick. Ah, there it is! I love him. And so here's my little minion running around. And you can see he drops his ore, his rock. And when he does, he freaks out a little bit. I'll see if I can get a good shot of him turning around. He loves his rock. He loves his rock so much. He loves his rock. There it is. He drops it. He freaks out. No, I dropped my rock. And then he picks it back up. He's so happy. He loves his rock. Ah! Oh man! Early on in the game, when there weren't, look at him, he loves his rock. Early on in the game, when there weren't like tons of minions, this was just the best minion. I loved this minion so much. This is still probably my favorite minion, to be honest. He's just so cute. He's just so cute. That's what happens though when you make me kill a Spriggan, is I have to go buy a pet Spriggan to make up for it. I have to give another Spriggan a good home because you made me destroy one Spriggan. And I just can't have that. All repairs and modifications have been completed, Sophie. Once you bring me that crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. Well, here is that crystal. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Worry not, Sophie. I'll see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship, but mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. This is what I was born to do.
Trying to fix this, but I'm trying.